In today's video, I did the unthinkable and I booked an economy class ticket with Qatar Airways with the hopes of trying to get that upgraded with my One World status. So this video is going to be the first in a series on me attempting to get an upgrade both prior to departure and the day of departure. So let's see what happens. First off, what is One World status and why does that matter? Over the past few months, I acquired Platinum status with American Airlines, which translates to One World Sapphire status across all the One World partners. And that's important because it gives you the additional baggage allowance in case you're not flying in business class, and also gives you access to the business class lounges across One World Alliance partners. Now I'm taking this strategy to the extreme and I'm attempting to get that upgraded to business class both before in the days leading up to the flight and the day of flight, whichever I can try to accomplish using the One World Sapphire status. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to test out what the real value of the status is. Because what's the point of having this top tier status if I still have to book every single flight in business class and I never have the option for upgrades? Sure, the lounges are nice and the additional baggage allowance is nice as well, but we're taking this to the extreme. Let's try to go get upgrades with economy class fares, economy class award tickets as well. Another part of this strategy is booking fixed award pricing. And while in this case it's not quite so fixed pricing with Qatar Airways, I did have 22,000 miles left over from a previous cancellation. So I only had to transfer 13,000 miles in order to do this economy class redemption with Qatar Airways. And this is a direct flight from Chicago in the US to Doha. So 35,000 points plus about 150 or 175 in taxes and fees. That is a great redemption for economy class 14-hour flight. This fare is extremely reliable to get. As long as you're booking about 3 to 4 weeks out, you can consistently get this 35,000 mile redemption booked directly through Qatar Airways. You can transfer points from American Express to Qatar Airways to take advantage of that same redemption. Consistently available and consistently available at that 35,000 mile threshold. The fixed award pricing is also great in case your plans change where you need to move to another date. That allows you to have some flexibility and get the same redemption. And I actually just tested this out where I shifted my travel date about 1 week to the right, about 8 days, and I was still able to get the 35,000 mile redemption, which saved me from having to transfer more miles to do the same flight. So why gamble on booking an economy class fare and trying to get an upgrade with my One World status? The reason I'm doing that, not just for video content purposes and to share with you guys, but I really want to test out what the value of the One World status is. In the past, I booked a Finnair flight with Alaska Miles, and I booked that from JFK going all the way to Doha in the same route that I'm doing now, but there was a stop in between in Helsinki. But when I checked in for that flight at JFK, I still had to pay for baggage even though I had a business class award ticket. So that's why I made such an effort to get the One World status for these kind of redemptions. That way I never have to worry about that again. But now I'm taking this to the extreme where I want to see if it's possible to get upgrades. I did a bunch of searching around YouTube. I saw a bunch of people reading off the stat lines of what each status is worth, just reading from the web pages, but no one's really put to the test whether you can get upgrades on a different airline using your One World status. So that's what I'm attempting to do. Because in the end, I want to be able to book tickets in economy fares sometimes when I'm short on points to save points and maximize my value by leveraging the status. On that same note, to save miles, in this case, it would normally cost me about between 70 and 100,000 miles to get from the East Coast US, so anywhere from Chicago or anywhere along the East Coast, including Atlanta, to get to Doha would cost me between 70 and 100,000 miles depending on the partner I'm booking through, how I'm able to transfer those miles from American Express and Chase. So that's a lot of miles, and that doesn't even get me to my final destination in this case, which is Thailand. So the savings that I'm getting, instead of, let's say at the low end, 70,000 miles versus 35,000 miles in economy class, that 35,000 miles is worth about 3 to 4 nights of hotel stays in Asia. So that's a big savings where in the worst case scenario, I end up actually using this economy class ticket to get from the US to Doha. It would gain me 3 to 4 nights in Asia in hotels that I'm not otherwise paying for. So take a 12 or 13-hour sacrifice for 3 or 4 nights. Mileage may vary, but in this case, when I travel a lot, it's worth it for me. While Qatar Airways does allow 2 checked bags, even with their economy fares, I think it's still important to have the One World status. That way, no matter what, if maybe a different partner airline doesn't allow the 2 free check bags, I can get it through my One World status. And because my second ticket, I'm planning on booking from Doha to either Bangkok or Phuket in Thailand, that ticket is going to be at least in business class, if not first class. So my transit through Doha, I will have access to the Al Safa lounge most likely, or their business class version of that lounge at the very least. So in that case, it's a little bit easier for me to justify taking the first flight in economy, which could have the potential to get upgraded anyway. I'm willing to take that risk because I know no matter what, my second flight will be at least in business class. One World Sapphire status gets me a priority check-in at Chicago. So whatever line they have set up for their priority check-in for Qatar Airways there, I'll be able to use that through my One World status. Speeds up the process there. And I have TSA pre-check with Clear through my Business Platinum card. So check-in process will be smooth. Lounge access in Chicago, I'm not really counting on it there. It's few and far in between. While I do have status with American Airlines, you still have to pay for the Admirals Club lounge access. So I'm not too sure what the options are going to be for that, and I'm not putting a lot of weight into that. Worst case scenario, if I do fly in economy, the ticket that I actually booked, I'll just end up sleeping most of that flight probably and take advantage of my nice hotel in Doha and the lounge access there. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. This video was more about my strategy in making the booking. The next video is going to be a little bit more advanced on how I'm trying to get an upgrade in the days leading up to the flight. And then I'll make another video day of if I'm not able to get that upgrade prior and see if I can do it the day of. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and share this content with anyone you think might want to get to One World Sapphire status or higher, and share your thoughts below on if you tried a similar strategy in the past. We'll see you in the next video.